Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Would like to present to you two articles of interest. Before I do that, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody who's watching on Facebook Live at this point. I do appreciate that, and I hope you enjoyed this article review. Also, for all the people watching this recorded on Facebook Live, I also hope you did find value and enjoyed this as well. Now, also I'd like to welcome people watching this recorded on YouTube, Rumble, and Daily Motion, as I know you'll find value in these two articles, and being up to date with the news is definitely valuable. Now, let's start with this article. Before I read this article and show you the video, I would like to let you know that this is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It is not to take the credit for the intellectual property of the article. The full credit to the intellectual property of the article goes to the publisher, which in this case is The Cool Down, and the story by Rick Kasmer. The headline reads, "Scientists make first of its kind discovery on quest to create safer EV batteries. Here's what they found." Now, ahead of you, you're going to see an actual picture of this. You see 4 connected batteries, and the caption reads, "Battery innovations are happening around the world, including with tech that revives Thomas Edison era iron alkaline science." Battery enthusiasts should be ready to dig deep into the chemistry books for a full view of the latest findings coming out of Tokyo University of Science. While the complicated research hasn't produced a fully working battery, it could provide game-changing insight into the creation of a key power pack part, that is, the negative electrode. Eventually, the analysis may help to produce a better electric vehicle pack with a precise electrode analysis method, all according to a report published by Uric Alert. When lithium-ion battery cycles, ions move between 2 electrodes, the anode and the cathode, through a substance called electrolyte. The team is interested in finding a better alternative to commonly used carbon-negative electrodes or cathodes. Carbon is subject to a troublesome dendrite formation when quickly charged, and which in turn can cause a short circuit and fire, as described in a lab summary and Science Direct. By the way, that's the reason why you shouldn't leave your laptop or any chargeable devices permanently plugged in, because you will degrade the battery. But in addition to that, also you will cause those issues with the battery, and yes, it could explode, it could get very hot. So anyway, that's what it is. While rare, lithium-ion battery fires can be catastrophic, as you can imagine. Now, in response, the Japanese experts investigated transition metal oxides, an alternative to carbon. The oxide-based materials have great thermal stability and other attributes that promote better fire safety. A promising type is called the Wadsley-Roth phase oxides, including TINB207 or TNO, all per Uric Alert. Quote, "The network structure of TNO forms within the lithium-ion conduction pathways has significant influence on the properties of negative electrodes," research team lead and associate professor Naoto Kitamura said in a report. In the related video we're going to see in a moment, it's entitled "The Liquid Batteries That Could Power Entire Cities." Answers with Joe, as per Joe Scott. Well, let's make this bigger. I'm going to unmute this so you guys can hear it. And what I'm going to do is I'm doing this as a review to show what he has in this video, which is already in the public domain. So of course, this the full credit goes to Joe Scott for the liquid batteries that could power entire cities, as he calls it. Answers with Joe. What I'd like you to do is just listen carefully to what he's saying, think critically about what he's saying, compare it to what you think it is. Like, for example, do you think what he's saying is right? And then from there, what you can do is you can come to your own conclusions. Excuse me. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to periodically, as necessary, I'm going to give some commentary or any relevant opinions as it relates to this video. So let's start. First, let's make sure we have enough volume. Now, if you find this to be too loud, you can just put your mouse over here and then drag that down. Like, I would not to 0, of course, but you can drag that down to less. Or you can, oops, I'm trying to make this to 0, 100. Just put that there. I don't know if I can get it to 100. There we go. Or on your master control volume settings, you can actually turn it down if it's too high, or if it's not high enough, turn it up. Alright, let's continue. Let's start, actually. Did you hear that? The energy has nowhere to go because it's fully charged. This is why you don't want to overcharge a battery, okay? This is a general principle in electronics. Let's continue. See what he just said? It produces a significant carbon footprint. Now, that indicates that although in the long run there might be a carbon savings, meaning the quote-unquote carbon footprint may be less, you have to consider the whole picture in terms of what the allocation of resources is. In addition to that, what's the pollution going to be? So as you see here, there's actually 6 elements. Okay, so you need 6 different elements to make it. Okay, now here's the thing. First of all, you're going to have to mine those elements, which will pollute. Second of all, you have to manufacture them, right? And then, of course, after that, it has to be integrated into a battery. And then there's other things like testing, all this other stuff, okay? So, from what I understand, now you guys can correct me in the comments below with some sort of white paper. Don't just say you're wrong. Show me some proof. Show me a white paper. Show me a study from a bona fide university. Not just somebody said so something and take my word for it. And don't tell me go look it up. But I need proof that this is actually right. So the point is, there isn't much of a carbon savings, hardly if at all, because between between the mining and the production and the testing and the implementation, all it's going to pollute, okay, to varying levels. So this whole idea of, well, it's going to save the environment, and then what happens after the battery's no good? How do you dispose of it? Right? So you have to consider all those things. Let's continue. See? See that is? You have to have a lot of those batteries. Also, the other thing is, the weight's going to add up. So, because of the fact that the weight's going to add up, you're going to need more power to push the vehicle, okay? So, right now, it's not that much more efficient than a car. Now, when we consider all these things, there may be some difference in the carbon footprint right now, but as more get produced, we'll have to see how that works. The other thing is, you want to be careful about balancing that out, because you don't want to get rid of full industries. Also, it's important to have variety, because with competition, you get an increased choice, and also you get increased quality. And also price may go down too because of competition, and of course supply and demand, which is the other principle of business and economics. So let's continue. Remember I told you the manufacturing? All those batteries you have to produce. Okay? And then what happens when you're using the battery? Are you polluting? But what do you have to do to produce that plant? Right? To construct that plant? Right? To get all those batteries manufactured, etc. Let's continue. Commercial, sorry guys. Don't need it. See? See guys? You have to weigh that. You have to weigh that. So it's hard to really know for sure what the difference in that is. But also it's worthy of noting that the cars are actually more and more fuel efficient, which means require less gas to go a certain distance. So that means it's actually we're actually producing less even by gas. Another thing to note, which is often, I don't know why people don't mention this, but there's another aspect of it, which is that you can't have zero carbon emission, not only because everything pollutes, but also because the fact that trees actually need that carbon dioxide for its own synthesis, okay? And also because of that, also because of that requirement of getting a certain amount of carbon dioxide, we're relying on trees to give off oxygen, which that the oxygen, you know, breathing organisms need. Now, not all organisms use oxygen. You have anaerobic versus aerobic, so your aerobic organisms are going to need that oxygen. And yes, there are some that are anaerobic that don't use oxygen. But the thing is, you need some CO2. You can't just have zero. So let's continue. Did you catch that? Battery recycling is very energy intensive. So you have to consider that these batteries are only going to be good for so long. Then you have to get rid of them. You just don't throw them in the trash. You have to go to a certain recycling. It has to be recycled a certain way to be so you don't poison the environment. But in doing so, you are also, that's another example where you will be adding to your quote-unquote carbon footprint. So you really can't avoid it. What you can do is do things in a way where you don't poison the water, you don't poison the food, medicine, and also you try to be as clean as you can, okay? Now, everything's going to pollute no matter what you do, okay? So even just bodily functions, to put it sort of politely here, bodily functions also pollute. Even cows, them giving off some sort of carbon emission as well. Okay, so that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. See that? Why aren't they talking about the towers? They also have a carbon footprint as well. See, they're very selective about which one that they're going to target, and which one they're going to target is based upon their agenda. So if they have an agenda where they want only certain things to work a certain way, as in, well, we don't want gas-powered cars, we want battery-powered cars, and they have an agenda. But then they don't have agenda for other things. They don't have agenda. I mean, yes, you're seeing things that are battery powered, like what they call eVTOL, which is electronic vertical takeoff and landing. It's basically like a glorified helicopter. And there's going to be more actual jet planes that are going to be battery powered. But you see, the same people, and this is where I'm just giving my opinion on it. I'm giving my opinion based upon what I know, okay? Now, I won't mention names for liability reasons. I won't mention names. But there are certain rich people, I won't even say how rich they are. There are certain rich people who talk about, carbon footprint and this and that, and then, but they have several kids. They fly their private plane. See, the whole thing is hypocritical because they set the public to a certain standard about all this carbon footprint, but then they don't live up to the standard themselves. So it's very suspicious. And if you look at the actual start of the movement, you'll see what I mean. I don't want to name drop for liability reasons. So anyway, you have my point. That's my take on it. So realities you cannot completely avoid it. Okay. Let's continue. That's the thing I was gonna ask. What is the period of time per cycle? I guess I could do the math on that. I think, what is it? 30 cycles is a year or something. Hold on a second. Hmm. I have to say, I've never heard of vanadium. Anybody familiar with that? In the comment section, tell me more about that. I might go and look that up about vanadium. But yeah. Hmm. Whoa. Okay, here we go. So, we see one toxic element. 35 milligrams per meter cubed. Right, so that meter by meter by meter, which is 3.2 feet. 35 milligrams is enough to be toxic. So I thought all this stuff was environmentally friendly. No, it's not environmentally friendly. It serves an agenda. Okay? Again, my take on it. But I encourage you to look into this stuff. You'll be surprised what you're going to find. Now let's continue with this chart he's talking about. Mm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Uh, oh, nice. Yep. Hmm. Very nice. Yep. There you go. Yep. There you go. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yep. Yep. Sure. Indeed. Alright guys, what do you think of that video? Do you think it gave enough information for you to understand that technology? To get you an idea of what's going on? You see, it is on YouTube, so when you go, so I'll have the links on my Rumble channel, and also on my Facebook Live here. So let's continue on for a moment, and then we're gonna have a quick intermission for a moment. You guys, just one moment, I'll be right back. Alright guys, let's continue. So, you saw the video there, what do you think of it? So, we have a link that says, watch now how easy is it really to charge an EV, standing for electric vehicle. You're welcome to click on that link and find more information about it. Here what we're just giving you is an overall idea of it, so you can get a sufficient understanding of the topic. But anyway, back to the article itself. But the materials atomic structure needed to be charted. To accomplish the task, the team analyzed 3 unique samples. One was pristine, one was ball milled to reduce the particle size, one was heated treated according to the lab notes. A series of advanced tests, including topological analysis, revealed that the ball milling followed by heat treatment produced the best results for charge to discharge performance, the report continued. For the first time we could prove, or that is, the author says, we could prove the combination of intermediate range structure and topology analyses in a promising way of developing a guideline for improving electrode properties. Kitamura said, as per Uric Alert. So the author asks, if you're going to purchase an EV, which of these factors would be most important to you? Cost, battery range, power and speed, or the way that it looks? And there's a place where you can actually put your opinion on that. You click on it and do whatever there and actually give your opinion. Battery innovations are happening around the world, including tech that revives the Thomas Edison era iron alkaline science and promising solid-state power packs. Often the goal is to increase EV range, speeds, and safety while lowering costs. That's important because each EV replaces a gas-burning car, prevents thousands of pounds of harmful heat-trapping exhaust annually, as noted by the U.S. Department of Energy. Curbing the fumes is a goal drivers of all vehicles that can help to achieve efficient driving habits can stack up more than $100 in savings a year via shorter routes and less idling time. Yes, when you idle, actually, you're still using the gas, but I believe it's just less of it, but you're still using it. Reducing planet warming fume production is also a long, friendly move, as medical experts have linked the gases to a range of health risks, including carcinogen exposure. So, carcinogen refers to something that causes cancer. For now, the researchers are confident that their findings will lead to better performing lithium ion batteries, which would be a boom to EVs and other tech. TNL can be used with lithium ion batteries for cars and contribute to the green growth energy for achieving carbon neutrality, Kitamura said. And ahead of you see a picture is that your own cooler future straight to your inbox. He talks about lower my bills, get my money upgraded to home, make money on the stuff. So he has like a little survey, you can hear that. Caption reads, here's how community solar energy can cut your monthly electric bill. No rooftop panels required. So that's just kind of another way, which you can look at your own and participate on your own. And the article concludes by saying, the author says, join their free newsletter for weekly updates on the latest innovations improving our lives, shaping our future, and don't miss out on the cool list, as this cool list has a link, hyperlink. Easy ways to help yourself while helping the planet. Then he says, scientists make first of a kind discovery on quest to create EV batteries. Here's what they found. First appeared on the cooldown. Okay, so that will actually conclude that first article. Let's talk about the second article here. And as usual, before I do that, I would like to let you know that this is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It is not to take the credit for the intellectual property of the article. The full credit to the intellectual property of the article goes to the publisher, which in this case is Top Speed, and the story by Craig Cole. The headline reads, Aptera's production ready, as he has in quotes, solar EV shines at CES. Now, CES stands for the, Central Electronics Show? So it's an electronics show in Las Vegas almost every year. They have it there. Now, Aptera Motors debuted the electric vehicle at CES in Las Vegas, Nevada last week. One that's covered in solar panels. According to the manufacturer, the array of energy generators can provide up to 40 miles of electric range per day in sunny locations. Excuse me. More than enough to meet the driving needs of many motorists. And here you can actually see this futuristic type vehicle. And the caption reads, Aptera _ wind tunnel tests. And what they do with that, they have a controlled environment in which that they test things on a smaller scale. So when it comes to scientific testings, what you have to do is you have to have a control in which that you can isolate and control the environment. And you do it on a smaller scale so for various reasons. One could be for safety, the other one could be for an easy way to measure results. Also here, we have a three-wheeler solar-powered electric vehicle. The caption reads, 2025 Aptera XEV, front three-quarter doors open. To deliver this, practically every horizontal surface of Aptera's solar electric vehicle, that's SEV, so you might think of it, so it's like solar panels that's powering an electric vehicle, powering the battery of an electric vehicle, is covered in solar cells, as you can see here. This includes the hood, the roof, and the hatch. You know the obvious locations too. Engineers also added some to the dashboard to maximize the amount of electricity the car can absorb from the sun. Overall, the vehicle is fitted with 700 watts worth of solar panels, gaining 40 miles of range per day. It is nothing to sneeze at. But over the course of a year, it can really add up. In appropriately sunny regions, Aptera can net drivers up to 10,000 miles of range annually, all without having to plug in or pay a single penny beyond the purchase price of the car itself. trouncing many other EVs excuse me, available today. The solar enhanced electric provides an estimated 400 miles of range with a full charge, which should take less than an hour to obtain when plugged in. No, you don't have to rely solely on the sun to juice up the battery. Okay, really? Helping give this car that is, such long legs and a super slippery body, one that almost looks like it could take flight. Using 3 wheels instead of 4 also helps reduce rolling resistance to further bolster efficiency. In fact, the manufacturer says the machine only consumes 30% of as much energy as the average vehicle does to go the same distance. Reducing aerodynamic resistance helps the solar enhanced EV go the distance, though this also improves performance. Expect a 0 to 60 miles per hour time in less than 6 seconds, an entirely competent performance for any vehicle, electric or otherwise. Aside from the mind-cheating design, this car's engineering is also shrewd. The Aptera's body is made up of a carbon fiber reinforced sheet molded material. The design requires fewer than 1/10 as many components as would be needed for a conventional vehicle, reducing complexity and almost certainly cost. And we have a video here of the logo. This is from Google News, icon large, copyright provided by Top Speed. And we have some more stuff. Some more specifics. Aptera says it will start at $40,000, and the caption reads Aptera, so you can see a picture of what it would look like, especially inside. Aptera says the solar enhanced vehicle it unveiled at CES is ready for production. Engineering has moved forward with the prototype stage to validation. If you're intrigued about the unusual looking but hyper efficient vehicle, you can reserve launch edition model right now for $100. As for the overall price, Aptera estimates the EV will start at around $40,000. Oh, that must be the down payment, $100. Aptera estimates EV will start at around $40,000. Low volume production expected to commence this year as the automaker's assembly plant in Carlsbad, California. I'd like to end this article review with a related video entitled Tesla Powered RS1 as per Monster Mania. As usual, I'm gonna play the video. Listen carefully to what he says. I'll interject and give my opinion and commentary as needed. And listen to details and other things that relate to it. And then we'll talk about it after. Let's go ahead. There you go. You see that? It looks almost like a toy car, or like what do they call it? One of those cars that can go like maximum speed 35 or 45 miles an hour. Oh, go-karts. Yes. Let's continue. Okay, so you saw the vehicle. What do you think? Is it something you think you would purchase, or do you think it's sufficient, or do you think it's all hype? you're welcome to give me your opinion in the comments below. Just if you have the comment, I request that you just say why, because if you just say, well, it's a XYZ, it's like, okay, because why? See what I mean? Alright. So, before we conclude this article review, I would like to ask your opinion about it. So, for the first two articles, which there's only two articles in this, for the first one, scientists make first of its kind discovery on quest to create safer EV batteries. Here's what they found. What do you think of this article? And also, how about the second article? Aptera's production-ready solar EV shines at CES. What do you think of that article as well? About the shape, what do you think about it? And also, you see the technology with solar panels, and then inside of it, and then this guy's experience with a Tesla-powered RX-1. So what do you think of these two articles? Are they interesting? Are they relevant to your life? And do they give enough information? You're welcome to give your opinion in the comments below. Just make sure to keep it relevant and keep it constructive, as we're only trying to add something positive to this experience, as we're trying to make this better and also grow the audience to provide maximum value and increased maximum value, that is, as time goes on. Notice here I've also been showing the videos instead of having you go and watch it yourself, because I want some more interactivity and more collaboration between, interaction between myself and the viewers. So that's what that is. So I'd like to thank, first of all, the people watching this on Facebook Live. I'd like to thank them for taking the time to watch this video. Also, for people watching this, the recorded version of this on Facebook Live, I'd like to also thank you for doing that, as we're trying to build an audience and trying to provide maximum value for that. So with that in mind, what I'd like you to do for all the people watching on Facebook Live or watch the recorded version, I'd like you to click the thumbs up. That way more people can see the value of this, and they can also benefit and enjoy the experience of this review. For people watching on YouTube, Rumble, and Daily Motion, what I'd like you to do is please click like on the video. That way you'll be pushed through the algorithm and more people will be able to view it and enjoy it. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. That way you'll have access to all the content on this channel, on these channels, that is, for YouTube, Rumble, and Daily Motion. As I do have a variety of content on this channel, so I'm doing the current events articles regarding, like news, and also like news, politics, and science, technology type stuff. Also, I'm doing gaming reviews for games, for a couple different games, and I'll be doing actual like reviews, like actually like guides. But what I'm doing right now is technically a mixture of the both of a guide and a review. So it's showing you like, okay, this is what it is, and this is how you play the game better, and showing you how you can best maximize the experience. That is in a positive way. So it's always a benefit to be more informed and have the tips and tricks for things. Alright, so also if you haven't already, please click the bell button. That way you'll be notified of all my future videos. That way when a new video of mine comes out, you won't miss it because you'll be notified accordingly. So I'd like to wish you a great day wherever you are in the world. Take care. And I'll certainly talk to you next time, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you next time. Bye for now.